Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this one, we're going to continue the lab that we started, uh, the lab one, Agile Planning and Portfolio Management with Azure Board. It's a really long lab, almost 60 minutes. We probably spent more than that time already. In the first few videos, we started with exercise 0, configuring the lab prerequisite, and then we configured the team project. We created an organization, created the project, and once that's done, we did a lot of tasks for managing the Agile project. We created a new team. We made sure we have new areas and sub areas, and we created iterations for the sprints. Once that's done, we came down over here. On task 2, we worked on managing work items. We created new features and stories added task. So now once we have all the tasks, what we did, we started working on the sprint itself and make sure we have proper capacity. Okay, that's what we did. And we made sure that we have enough capacity in our sprint to do the job correctly. And next, once we have configured our sprint and verified our capacity, the next thing we did, we wanted to look at how our sprint is going. Okay, is it going great? And we're making a lot of progress. And we use the we customize the Kanban board. This is kind of where we ended. Okay, so we created a new doing and done. We splitted this column. We added this expedited area over here. We added tags. We even added color coding for those tags for quickly identifying the items that we needed. And with that, I think that was kind of the end of our customization. So over here, you have the expedited lane where you can easily bring your item and put it over there. That's kind of where we ended. So in this one, we are down to task 5, and this is the customize the team process. Now, team process is probably the most complicated one to kind of understand. So, Azure boards, it really supports two different type of processes. Okay, if you look over here, and so the first type of process are the core process system. That means Azure board, you can use Scrum, you can use Agile method, or you can use CMMI. Okay, you can create your boards based on any of these processes. But unfortunately, these processes are read-only. So you cannot modify or cannot customize. So how do you customize them? So the next type of process that you can have with DevOps is called the inherited process. Okay, this inherited process can be based on Scrum, can be based on Agile or CMMI. Okay, now in this inherited process, you can make changes. Another thing to note that inherited process or process itself, you don't want to apply to one project only. You want to create the process and you want to apply the process to multiple organizations. You can share the process within multiple organizations and multiple projects. Okay, that's what you should be doing. Now, over here, the Git team project can be customized until it's migrated to an inherited process. So this is what kind of the focus of the lab that we're going to do. So let's get started. So on the DevOps page, click on the Azure DevOps logo. So again, so that's our Azure DevOps, and this is the project that we're working on. Okay, in the left bottom corner of the page, click on the organizational setting. So now I clicked on the project. So this is actually the project setting. So I'm going to go back here and click on the organizational setting right over there. And that will bring up again some of the things that we have configured already in the very first lab. So it's the organizational setting and what we can configure for my whole organization. That view is back. So in this one, what we want to do, we want to look at the process. Okay, and the process is usually under the board. So again, this is the general section. You have all these blades. You have security section. Here is the board section, and under the board you have the process. So let's just go there and see what we can do. So if you, as I said, if you click on the process, you see you have the basic process. Okay, yeah, and the Azure DevOps supports Agile, supports Scrum, and supports the CMMI. All major type of process that most organizations use. It supports all of them. But in here, what we really want to do, okay, we want to create a new process. So in here, all processes span to the right of the Scrum entry. So here is the Scrum entry, okay. And what we want to do, we want to click on that ellipsis again, and in this drop down menu that you see, we want to create an inherited process. Now in here, another thing you see that right now, this is the default. So anytime if I create a project, so basic process will be the default process. If I want to change that to Scrum and set Scrum as the default, I can click on that icon as well. Okay, set it this default. But for this particular lab, we're just going to create an inherited process. Let's click on that one. So we're done up to this phase. Now in the screen, in the create inherited process from Scrum, that is the Scrum panel, in the process area, name is required. So you need to have a name. So let's call it customize Scrum. So you know it's a Scrum that we're customizing. That's a really good name to use. And if you want, you can do some description, but for now, we're just gonna hit create process. So what happened? This customized Scrum, it got created under the Scrum, which is the root process. Now back on the all processes pane, click on the customized Scrum. So in this one, we can click on that one now. And once you do that, make sure that you are in that panel. So you have the customized Scrum, you have bug, epic feature, impediment, product backlog item, task, test cases, test plan, and test suite. All of that, they're part of the new customized Scrum process. Now what we need to do next, on the all processes, customize campaign, select product backlog item. So let's work on this one. So click on that one. And what we want in here on the product backlog item. So we usually for a backlog item, like which is kind of the stories, like the stories they end up in the product backlog. And for think about just the stories, the feature, you usually have a description, you usually keep track of the acceptance criteria, you have a priority, which story gets high priority, which one less, how much effort is needed, 5 hours, 10 hours, okay. Then business value, okay, high, low, medium. Then deployment, uh, development, and related works, all of that are currently part of a Scrum process. Now what we want to do in here, we want to collect some more information. So in this one, what we do, we're going to click on the new field. Okay, once we do that, we have on the add field to product backlog item, add field to product backlog item, on the definition tab, in the create a field, okay, what we want to do in the name text bar, put pull ticket ID. So this is what we are gonna put, that is as the name. Okay. Now on the add field, click on the layout. So first of all, it's a field, and it's a single line text field is fine, but you have option to choose other type of uh, value as well. It could be a boolean, date, time, decimal, identity, integer, pick list, string, multi-line, all kinds of stuff. So in this one, we're just going to going with a single line text type for this particular field. Now, if you go down to the layout, okay, on this particular field, okay, in the label text box, okay, you have the label text box, type ticket ID. So in this one, for the label, I'm going to get rid of the poll. I'm just going to call it a ticket ID. And select the create a new group option. So we're now gonna go and put this inside an existing group. We're gonna create a new group, and the new group name we're gonna add and call it parts unlimited. Okay, that's what we're gonna call, and then we can hit the add field. So what it just did, so you had all these different fields that were part of the original Scrum process. Now that parts unlimited field is now part of the customized Scrum process. That's what you did just. Now what we can do, we can return back to the all processes. So just click on that one, and we can go back to the product backlog item pane. So let's just go back to the processes even, and all processes there, and then customize Scrum is there, then product backlog pane one more time. Okay, now on the all processes pane, select the Scrum entry. So in this one, I would like to find the Scrum entry. Where is the Scrum entry? I do not see this Scrum entry. It was here. They keep changing these things time to time. Let me take a quick look. All right, I think what I figured out what they're trying to talk about. So go back to all processes, and this is the Scrum entry that they're asking us to click, not the customize Scrum at the moment. So just select the Scrum entry. Okay. Then all processes Scrum plan. Select the project tab. So in here we can go to the projects tab. Okay. In the list of projects in the row containing the agile planning and portfolio management with Azure boards. So this is the one that we have started working on from the very first video that we have been using. We're going to select that one, and what we are going to do, we are going to say that we're going to change that process. So let's click on that one. Let's see what happens. And it says project details, and the process is Scrum. Let me go back there. There must be another easy way to change the process as well. So here's the process. Let's click on that one, Scrum. So that brought us over here. Let me go back one more time. But where were we? Okay, we were here. Let's click on that one, and that ellipsis symbol is didn't do anything. Let's see, that ellipsis symbol is saying rename or delete project. Okay, there's in the row agile planning, select the ellipsis symbol and then select change process. So again, something must have changed in here as well. So I can come over here, select the Scrum from there, and let's see if it's letting me change it from here at the moment. It's a system process cannot be customized. Okay, uh, create an inherited process. So again, let me go back in here and so go back to DevOps, go back to here, and what we are doing is go back here to the organizational setting, go back to our boards and then process. In the process, I have all of them, and I have only one process is this. Let's click on them, and now the change process. So you have to browse through a little bit, make sure that you understand where to go. So now here is the change process icon. So that looks like it's changed just a little bit from how the way it's shown over here. But let's click on that one. So that brought us to the same location. So now I can select the customized Scrum that I have created, and I'm going to say save. So the save has been change has been successfully completed. So I can say close. Okay. So now you see the Scrum, there is no more processes anymore. So if I go down to all processes, so the customized Scrum will have one project associated with it. Previously under Scrum, we had that one project, right? So now it has moved to the customized Scrum process. So what they're saying, click on the Azure DevOps logo in the top left corner again. So return to the main account. On the projects tab, select the entry representing your project. So that is this, our step 18 is done. In the vertical menu, where we want to go, we're going to go to boards and then boards. Again, here is your boards and then your boards. That is where you want to go. And ensure that the work items pane is displayed. So let's see, this is, just go to work items, maybe this pane they're talking about. So this is a work item pane that is displayed. In the list of work items, click the first backlog item. So this is my first backlog item. I'm going to click on that one. On the list of work items, we just did, and then verify that you have the ticket ID field under the parts unlimited group. And voila, look at that. So this is the beauty of inherited process within Azure DevOps. You can extend your Agile and your Scrum with your own fields if you want to collect more information about some of the stories, some of the work that you have been doing for tracking purposes. So in this one, you can treat this as like any other text field. So here you can put anything that you like. My ticket 112233, whatever that you want, you can put it in here, just like any other text field, right? So that's about it. So now for any pretty much any project, so I can save this one if I want to, and go back to the work items. If I go to even any of the previous work items, okay, we can possibly find that, okay, we did that for uh, uh, for our backlog items. So as long as you have it in the backlog, you most likely will be able to figure out which one is trackable. Okay, so if I try to create a new product backlog item, and you see, the automatically the ticket ID is going to show up. Okay, so that's the beauty of Azure DevOps. Okay, so that's the end of this section, and the final section of this lab, it has the optional, which is for the defined dashboard, which is very, very important. Okay, so let's meet in the next video and let's finish that one so we understand how to look at our project dashboards to tell how our project is going, how what is the project velocity, how many stories are getting completed, okay, if we are getting blocked for some reason, all of that stuff, what is the burn down chart. So we'll look at all of that in the next video. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Thank you very much.